Alrighty, my brother. I don't need to give you any preparation. I feel like you know what you're doing more than I do.
Yeah.
Which is
yeah.
fantastic, brother. All right, you ready to go?
Absolutely.
Let's kick it, brother. Let's kick it. Yeah, this one, it usually the condenser starts about, if you get it like about a fist away from your face, you're all sweet.
The fact that you even use the word condenser is
Yeah, condenser means if you like do this, you can't hear yourself.
Right, okay.
But you can obviously hear yourself if that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, I famously have like the worst fucking mic technique in the game for somebody that's been doing this for 18 years.
Oh, really? I'm going to be watching that now, tonight.
Yeah,
I'm going to be making sure that you're like double fisting it sometimes.
Real bad.
Oh, fuck yeah. All right, guys, let's get into it. G'day, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Cool Dad Collective podcast, a podcast that is for dads by a dad, talking everything there is to talk fatherhood. And I am unbelievably stoked today, not only because it's Monday and we were able to go play golf.
Fuck yeah.
But I'm able to sit down with comedy royalty. I think you're going to probably disagree when I say comedy royalty.
100%. Yeah. First of all, because every time a member of the royal family dies, I wank for 7 days in a row.
Dude, and
No, there's no bigger slur to me.
Really?
Than to call me comedy royalty. Like, fucking, I know this will upset some Australians, but the amount of champagne we drank when fucking Lizzie copped it. Over the fucking moon. Get in the ground, you fucking pedo breeder.
Oh, well, if you already got the vibe of the podcast, Mr. Daniel Sloss, he is a professional comedian, I would say. He does, we're lucky enough. He's got another show at QPAC, sold out today. Well, we're going to say it's sold out regardless. I think everything's sold out. We just always say it's sold out. We'll just keep boosting it up.
Yeah. I mean, some of I think all the Brisbane ones are sold out.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I've got like 5 Sydney ones next week. I don't think those are all sold out.
Yeah, well, you could be shit in Sydney if you want. We fucking hate Sydney anyway. So, well, you might not. You might not. This is a state of origin thing, yeah. So, even if Sydney was fucking awesome, even if Sydney was the greatest place on earth, or like, you get there and they go, oh, here, you just come to Sydney. Here's $10,000. I'd take the 10,000 and be like, this fucking place sucks.
Yeah.
Still. So, but dad of 2, Mr. Daniel Sloss.
Yes.
It's fantastic to have you here, man. Thank you so much for coming out playing golf with us. It was fantastic. Played down at Manipi, the new course, or newish course. And to be honest, a lot less slurs than I thought there would be.
I was sober.
Yes, that's why, and I was too. You know, we've got stuff to do. Big day today.
I'm driving to Gold Coast afterwards, so I was just like, not today.
That's fair.
And I think because of that, I didn't lose. Well, in fact, anytime I hit a terrible shot, which was regularly, I didn't lose my head immediately afterwards.
No, I did.
Wasn't like, here's a twice as aggressive recovery shot. Like, I would take a shit shot and then I'd go, all right, well, maybe don't try that shot again. Since you clearly can't do it, just lay up with an 8-iron.
I like that. I don't know if you saw my shot with a 7-iron. I'm never shooting a 7-iron in my life ever again. It was fucked. I lost 3 balls on that one hole. Just
you got in your head so much.
Oh, dude, it was just a bit of pressure, a bit of everything. You know, you can really see the one who goes on stage every night and keeps their cool, and the one who has to record in front of a microphone in front of a really tiny camera, and that really shows. So, I appreciate your ability to stay calm under pressure. And
it's not all the time. Like, golf is the one where like I managed to. Yeah, I think the only reason I kept it calm today is because we weren't boozing and I don't smoke weed anymore.
Yeah, so we're winning anymore. So you never know. Your kids are young enough; they might get old enough, and it's stressful. You could be the cool stoner dad.
I was the stoner dad for the first fucking.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. Okay. It's not as good as vibe as you think it is.
No, and I hear that too because I think I saw a video not long ago, and it was just like, hey, if you're ever worried about stay-at-home dads, don't be, because they're pretty much just all just stoned, just hanging out at the park with their kids. And in your head, that sounds good. But it's not as good as you think, like you said.
No, it's not as good. Like because you can be, like, I've always considered, I was, back when I was smoking weed, I was a super functional stoner.
Yeah.
Like, it sort of quieted down my brain, but just gave me like long-term mental health. Like, when you're in your 20s and you don't have kids, you're like, oh, I don't really, I don't want to die. But if I do die, it doesn't really matter.
I know what you mean, dude.
Like, this was my opinion for myself. Like, in my 20s, I was like, if I die, some people will be sad, but like, they're all adults and they'll get over it.
Yeah.
Whereas like when you have kids, you're like, I have a moral responsibility to live for as long as possible now.
I gotta put sunscreen on now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, I drink
I've
so
seen
much.
you.
I drink so much more water
Oh,
nowadays. I
dude.
go to the gym more. I'm eating healthier because, like, I want to. You know, before I was the concept of being 65, I was like, shoot me in the head.
Yeah, and some 65-year-olds now, dude, are like, they're fucking,
Super fit.
they're fit. You're
Living
like,
their
what
lives.
is going on?
They're doing fucking marathons.
That's where I want to be, dude.
Oh, absolutely.
That's where I want to be.
I would, yeah. At the age of 27, back when I used to love cocaine, I was like, if I'm running marathons at the age of 65, I'll consider my life a failure. Whereas now, I'm like, what a dream to be able to be like, I want to be an active granddad one day.
Yeah.
You know, I want to be able to, you know, throw my grandkids 40 feet up in the air.
Do you reckon that's changed since you've, like, obviously it has changed since having kids. Like, obviously, like like you just said, you're now just like, if I die, people don't just forget me. I now have kids there. But was that sort of one of the reasons why you decided, like, hey, I got to probably chill out a bit on all this shit? Like,
yeah, because like even though I was able to smoke weed all the time and sort of, you know, still make them breakfast, lunch, dinner, play with them, read them their books. You know.
Shows how easy being a decent parent is, hey?
Yeah.
You can do it just stuff.
Well, no, I'm in a lucky enough position that I was able to take time off.
Yeah,
Me and my wife were in a very privileged position where like the financial side of things was never going to be a worry.
Yeah.
Like, so like that adds a level of like, you know, we were both stay-at-home parents for like a year because I was just doing work from home, writing jobs and stuff.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it was, you know, but it doesn't feel good to be, you know, still, because I don't want my son or my daughter to have that in their lives.
Yeah.
Like I don't mind them occasionally once they're, you know, over 18 and their brains are able to process it, like occasionally treat themselves to
just dabble.
Yeah, to just dabble. Like, man, explore your own brain. I'm not going to tell you no.
Yeah,
You know, I've fucked myself in my earlier years, but like, do your best and try and learn from that. But yeah, my mum, when I was 16 years old, found my weed stash, and she didn't get me in trouble. And she was like, just to head you up, like, our family has like an addictive side of it. Like, mostly it turns into like alcohol, sometimes other things, but just be wary. I'm not saying don't smoke this stuff, but you know, you might get addicted to it. And I'm like, well, lucky for you, weed isn't addictive, you dumb bitch. 16 years later, 4 therapists, a drugs counselor a year later, I was absolutely addicted.
Yeah, it's because, mate, I went through very similar thing in terms of before Sky, and it was actually because Kia did all this reading around how, and it's actually coming out now, how you know, the effects it has on your sperm and stuff like that, like smoking heaps of weed. Yeah. So like before we even started trying for Skylar, Kia made me quit. And I'm not saying you know, I'm pretty open about this. I was a uni student, you know what I mean? Like you're in uni, you're just doing dumb stuff. And I think I got to a point where I was doing it frequently at night just to sleep.
Yeah.
And you know, that's always the same. Like it starts off as like, oh, I want to do this to sleep, and you have a little bit. There's nothing bad about it, whatever.
It was the only way to get the adrenaline down after a gig for me.
Mate, and it's like one of the reasons I was because of like football. Like I'd finish football at like fucking 10:30 at night, and I know I got to be up for work the next day, and all of a sudden you're like, holy shit, I need to go to sleep now. Like, and you know, you hear about, you don't want to use like fucking sleeping tablets or anything like that. And so, of course, that's the route you go down. And I was exactly like you. I was like, I'm not going to get addicted. That's pointless. There's a big correlation, though, you realize, between dependence and addiction.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't say I was addicted to it, but it got to a point where I was well aware that I was dependent on it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's a crutch.
Yeah, it is. It 100% it is. And it, like, you know, we were talking in the car on the way to golf, and how, like, you know, we both have like real big ADHD tendencies and stuff like that. And for some reason, it doesn't matter whenever I talk to someone with ADHD, that's always the vice. The vice is like, and it's for what you just said, you feel normal.
It quietens your brain down. Like I guess one of the big lies I always said to myself in my years of addiction was like, oh, it stops me being anxious. It didn't stop me being anxious. It exacerbated my anxiety, caused me to talk about it less. It certainly quietened my brain down. But what it was for me was it just stopped me being bored.
Yes. Oh,
like, it was
dude,
just,
yes.
And like when you're like a stay-at-home parent, which is a privilege, to be, to get to be there the whole fucking time. I love my kids. It's boring.
Dude, I saw a video.
It's not fun all day fucking long.
Taking your kids to the park, everyone says how, like, I'm sorry, man. I love taking my kids to the park.
Absolutely.
But it fucking sucks at times.
Yeah.
Like, Dad, can you push me on the swing? Oh, okay. You're there for like 15 minutes. Once again, point of privilege. Love it. Would never take it away.
No.
But there's only so long you can push your kid on the swing before you start going like,
I'm so bored.
Yeah, dude, I'm so fucking bored right now.
Yeah, there was such a difference like between me. Like there were times when, if I was out with my kids and I was, if I was a bit tired, like from my own doing, like I decided to stay up till 12 playing Arc Raiders.
Yeah.
And then I wake up at 6 a.m. because that's when my son wakes up, and I wake up with him and I'm tired and we're at a park and he's like, oh, can you come play with me? I'd be like, oh, buddy, just give me like fucking 5-10 minutes and then I will. If I was stoned, I'm like, buddy, we're playing hide and seek. Let's run around. But I hated that. That then came with its own big side of guilt.
Yeah.
Of just being like, it shouldn't take this substance to make me super excited to play with my kids. So now I've just replaced it with coffee, which is the exact.
Dude, that's so mate. Same. How many coffees do you reckon you do a day?
I'm not doing them. I'm not doing them after 3 p.m.
Okay, yeah.
Because
makes sense.
If I've got a gig,
yeah,
I'm not like that'll keep me up till fucking 1 a.m. anyway. Yeah. But if I am waking up with my children, my wife, who is a fucking Duracell bunny of a person, like she's a god.
Yeah,
like 5.5 hours sleep is enough for her.
That's
mental.
I feel that a little bit, but there's times where I'm like, oh, this is a lot. Yeah,
no, 8 hours for me. If I wake up, my wife is so good. She's like, I'm so tired in the morning. I can't even bring myself to make a cup of coffee. Like, sometimes she will be like, here you go. And I'm like, thank you so much. I love you very much. I'll get that down me. And then we're doing 2 to 5 double espressos just to fucking keep the buzz going.
Mate, my thing is, like, dude, I'm a sucker for energy drinks, dude. Like, I know.
I saw you got some fucking.
Yeah, dude. Well, to be fair,
not the only white monster in the car.
Respectfully. I did think that. You know what's funny about that? I got in the car. I was like, fuck, this dude's gonna think I'm a junkie with all the monsters. I'm keeping the cans because Skylar is collecting cans for her pocket money. Okay. So you get 10 cents per can. Okay. So what that means for me is I can have as many as I want and not feel guilty about it because my daughter is getting 30 cents.
Yes, yeah.
So we go through my car.
30 cents a day habit.
Oh, dude, because I'm like, I don't know. Where do you stand on it? Like, where do you stand with the whole pocket money thing? Because it's,
my son's too young for it. He's only 4.
Yeah.
So like, I think it will be something that we do get into. But I also think, I don't know. Like, there is a thing of like, there is a certain amount of things that you're just doing.
Yeah.
Like, which is like, you are part of this household.
Yeah.
And there are certain chores that you're not being rewarded for.
Yeah.
Those are just your job. Like, tidying up the playroom at the end of the day is never going to be a pocket money based thing. Like, that is all your fucking mess. But like, if it's, it's so hard to gauge yet because that feels like a bit further down the line for us. Like, he also, he doesn't ask for much.
Yeah, like that's really cool. Like, you've obviously done a good job. No,
his sister is not going to be like, it's purely
yeah.
It's personality.
Okay, well, there you go. At least you get one that's like we have that with Summer and Skylar. Summer is like a golden retriever. Like, she doesn't give a fuck. She's just like, hey, Dad, or like, she obviously doesn't say it, but I'm like, oh, I'm going to the shops. All right, I'll come too. All right, I'm not taking the pram. That's cool. Yeah. Okay, we're not getting a treat. I don't want a treat. I'm like, all right, fine. So you're just coming for the vibes. Okay.
She's like, I just like your company. And then you're like, well, I'm going to buy you all of the fucking chocolate then.
And then I wonder if she knows. I wonder if she's well aware of the fact that she goes, if I just tell Dad that I just want to go and hang out with him, he's a little fucking soft. Like, he's a softie. He'll just get me something. She's right. Majority of the time she's right because she'll look at me and be like, Dad, can I have can I have chocolate? And I'm like, yeah, fuck it. You're so cute.
Yeah, because
sure.
you chose to hang out with me. Absolutely.
Whereas my other daughter, Skylar, she's so much like her mum. Very busy, like just, and like so fucking smart. So smart. Like, yeah, you're just like, how doesn't make sense. I think she's smarter than I am at times.
Oh man, I think that's because we had a boy first.
Okay, so your son's the eldest?
Yes.
Yeah,
and and this is not me trying to do him like a disservice. He is like such an emotionally intelligent child. He is like super considerate and he is very, very smart. But like going from a boy to a girl, fucking hell, do girls get smarter quicker?
Oh, dude, it is
like
insane.
It's so fast.
Yeah.
Where you're just suddenly like, I mean, my son at the age of 4 could not. Only now is he sort of getting to the stage where like he can try to like fake cry. Like it's only like, now. Yeah. But I'm like, fucking buddy, like my daughter was able to fake cry at 18 months and it blew my fucking. I'm like, your brother's just learned that.
Yeah,
he's learned it from you. Where did you learn it from?
Man. Street
so
smarts.
smart.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I think girls, at least the difference between my boy and my girl, like she was able to pick up on other people's emotions just a little bit faster, like the vibes. Also, maybe it's not just a boy girl thing. Maybe it's a second kid thing.
Yeah, true.
Like, it could easily be like the fact that like, you know, but I feel so sorry for second kids because like when you have your first kid, like you kind of get to live in a bubble for a bit.
Yeah.
Like it's 2 versus 1. Like you're all part of this together. And then by the time you have your second, you're like, hey, you're joining a family with a toddler, by the way. So you better get used to shit real quick. Like there is
no room for error. I know what you mean, man.
You're not the center of a day. We would love you to be, because we obviously love you as much as we love your older sibling, but we cannot give you the 2-on-1 time that this cunt got for the first 2 years of his life.
Literally, dude.
Yeah.
And it's also like those things. It's you get the things that like for example, we had 2 girls. The immediate thing was, just so you know, none of your clothes are going to be yours. They're all your sister's clothes. One day you're going to realize it, and it is going to be an argument.
Yeah.
But for now, everything you wear is your sister's, because I'm not buying any more clothes like that.
But also, like in their teenager, when they're older, it's like from what I know about women and their sisters, they love stealing each other's clothes.
That's what I've heard.
That's part of the bonding thing.
Exactly,
like,
man.
Yeah, I think it should be.
Yeah, it should be fine. And they dress the same. Like, I don't know if you, well, is your partner like really now? I don't know if they were like this, if she was like this with your son, but is she really critical on what you get them to wear?
I'm not allowed to dress myself.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, you go. So there's this stage.
By the way, this I want to clarify something here. This is not me doing like the like toxic incompetence, like when you do something badly you don't get like. I cannot tell you how much I try so hard to like match my son's clothes, but my wife dresses me like. The only time I ever dress well is because like I'll go down in front of my wife and I'm like, if I want to wear these trousers, what shirt or what color frame am I looking into? And then she'll be like, well, if it's that, you need this color. And I'll go, great. And I'll run upstairs and I'll run back down like a toddler. I'm like, is this okay? And she's like, yeah. And then I'll go and I'll put on shoes that match the exact same color of the trousers. And she's like, no, you've not layered it. And also the belt is gonna. And I'm like, okay, I do try. Like I've got. Anytime I do an outfit that she likes, I take a picture of myself so I can like mentally, and then I try to apply that stuff to my son. I'm really like, right, okay, all blue, and she's like, not all blue. Like
now he looks like he's in a soccer kit or something.
Yeah.
Football kit.
And nothing fills me with more joy than like fucking, my wife will go and get my daughter ready because she loves the fact that she's got a girl.
Yeah.
And she's like, you're never dressing a girl. That is just like, that's my thing. And I'm like, okay, I get that. That's fair. I'll go and dress the boy. Man, if I can bring that boy downstairs and like, there's no second trip upstairs, I'm buzzing off that high all day.
It's a win, man. I get that too.
She just takes one look. She's like, all right. And I'm like, I fucking smashed it. Yeah.
You get like that. You know when there's like a kid in the group and the kid's a bit slow and he does something like really good and all the mates get around like, yay, good job. And you're like, oh, I did it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. That's 100% me. Every time my wife does not make me redress her son, I'm like, probably going to be on the next season of Queer Eye, I think. I'm just waiting for the phone call.
Oh, dude, I'm now in this new phase, right? And this new phase is fucking the worst. Okay, so now Skylar's now 5, so she dresses herself now, right?
Is that a bit sad for you?
No, well, here's where it gets sad. Okay, so yes, initially it's very sad because she wants to dress herself, and if you think you're bad at choosing clothes, my daughter will top you in fucking she's awful at picking clothes, like bad. Like, but in saying that, I like the fact that she chooses her own clothes.
Yeah.
But now we run the line of like, I can't pick clothes for Skylar because she doesn't like the clothes that I've picked. Now, if Kia doesn't like the clothes that Skylar picked, guess who is like getting thrown off the bus?
You?
It's me. Yeah, because it's my fault. Because I let her wear that. And I'm like, no, I'm trying to let her be, I want her to discuss. No, but she looks fucking terrible. Well, why is that my fault? She's your daughter as well. We're equally at fault here. Like, I'm just being a supportive parent. She goes, yeah, but she's wearing like, and to be fair, dude, she wears this bluey dress. Okay. And I love bluey. Bluey's great. But I despise the branded clothing. And this is a full-on bluey dress.
Great.
And she wears it fucking everywhere. And I'm not even lying, dude. This dress, if you made it white, she would look like a 1980s housewife. Yeah, like it's got like the little thing at the front and everything like that. And I get absolutely ripped apart. And I have to sit there and be like, it was her. She chose it. It's not me.
She's expressing herself.
But I cop it. Because to be fair, she does look absolutely fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, I think like I'm not in a relationship with my wife who we're like either people that like put our feet down on anything. Obviously, everything is open for discussion.
Yeah,
and like we'll talk to each other about our feelings on it. Like if my daughter wants to wear like a fucking idiot, like just like a fucking idiot, like I will defend my kids right now. I'm like, hey, look, because all it takes is sometimes you have to learn lessons socially.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you have to like go into school, realize you're dressed a bit different, and then you make a choice. You're like, okay, I'm dressed a bit different. Do I want to come back into school tomorrow and conform? Or is this my fucking thing? Yeah. And I'm happy with either way.
Yeah.
Like it's whatever, because just because you conform in one part of society doesn't mean you're going to conform in other parts. I think that's their choice each and every time. Also, like, whenever my wife is like, he's dressed stupid, I'm like, he's 4.
Yeah, he's a fucking
not out
child.
trying to get laid. Who cares? Like, this isn't, like, it's just for us.
Yeah, and if he was, he's going to learn real quick that's not the style.
He's not going out for, like, the attention. Like, sure, other parents might be like, and here's the thing, like, I often wonder, like, what my wife is, because, like, her parental anxiety manifests in a different way to my parental anxiety, like because we're mum and dad, so like our worries are very different. That's why we've got all bases covered. I do often wonder what like her worry is if like our kid is in school and like dressed like an idiot, because other kids don't care. Yeah And it's like, I'm like, surely other parents don't care because other parents have kids. Like if I saw your daughter like running around the beach in a full bluey dress, I'd be like, yeah, fucking that's a 5-year-old, man. Like, what are we expecting?
I know, it's like, why do we care? Like, and it's like, it doesn't make any sense why we do care. Because there's times where, like, for example, the other day, I want to get your take on this. Okay, so some of my youngest daughter's just learning to wear undies, right? Yeah. And it was my fuck up. I'll put my hand up. I fucked up, right? We went across the river, so like there's a boat that like we got to cross river ferry. You go across the river, there's a playground there, right? Summer gets there. My mistake. We get on the playground. She fucking doesn't go to the toilet. She does a wee. Okay. Yeah. I've got wipes, but I don't have any spare clothes. Okay. Yeah. How would you approach that situation? Would you allow them to keep playing on the playground like the damage is done? Because my thought was,
is it trousers or is it skirt?
It's like pants, but you can see it. So if she was wearing black tights, no one would know. But it's because they were pink. You could see. But
she'd wear herself.
And for me, I was like,
but is it the thing over the top?
It's straight pants. She's just wear her pants. Yeah, and I was like, fuck, I don't want her like running around.
How old?
She's 3. Dude, and that's my face.
I think it
my general thing was like I kept her off the playground. We went down and we kicked a football around instead. Right?
Was there like nowhere? Because at that point we're going to the corner store and we're back, or I'm finding a mum there.
Yeah,
and I'm like, hey, do you have a spare?
I know, and it put me in such a fucking odd spot because the thing was that made no sense is like I was fucking creating all these scenarios in my head, and I thought about it. I was like, oh. Like, like the only patch that's wet on her pants is around like her frontal area. If you're like a dude and you're like, hey, your kid's wet yourself, you're like, why the fuck are you looking at my kid there? You know what I mean?
But also, you would point out like your daughter's wet herself and you're like, yeah, I didn't bring a spare thing. And then you just have like this bonding thing between
dude,
dads.
yeah, I know what you mean. And I just thought it was like, oh, that's a because Kia was like, oh, she should be fine. But in my head, I was like, no, I don't know if it is fine. Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know.
It just depends like if other kids are going to bully her for it wetting herself, which sounds weird. I don't think they will at 3. Like, they're all
surely
having
not, hey.
accidents at that point. And then also like, I understand like the tension people get about when kids are nude, but like I don't think any other parent gives a fuck.
Nah, it's just you always.
But you've got this paranoia in the back of your
exactly.
head. But I do think that's often like just I think that's a good alertness to have.
Yeah.
But I also like don't think like. As long as you're there as the protector and the observer, you don't need to pass that anxiety and that fear down to them, especially at such a young age.
Yeah, and I'm so worried about that because I don't want them going out in public and having this like idea, like because you hear the stories, and if you're a parent, you're not aware of like all that stuff, right? It's there, it's out there. Like you just hope that you're not one of the statistics, I guess. But like I don't want her to catch on that I'm worried about that, and then she gets worried about that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it's fucking, and it's one of the things that in parenting is so fucking hard because you're constantly trying to hide what you're worried about, but also you want your kids to almost be aware of why you're worried. But you know what I mean? It's
but there's like At one point is like I was talking to my friend who he is an all-white person and his kid is an all-white person. And it's like, obviously we'll never experience this, but he's like, I don't know when to explain racism to my kid.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know whether I let him, like something happens and he sees it and then he learns about it then. And it's like this crushing sort of moment. And then I have to explain it.
Yeah.
Or do I just explain the concept to a 4-year-old and just put that in his head? Like, it's, obviously this is a lesser version of that, but it's in the same sort of ilk of like, when do we choose to be involved in ruining our children's childhood?
Oh, dude.
I think I don't think there's a right answer. I think it's play by play, and I think it's situation by situation. And I think sometimes you are forced to play your cards before you're ready to, and you have to react in that situation. But then I think in other aspects of our children's life that we get to a point where it's like, okay, bud, here's a thing that I have to explain to you. Like, it's not happened yet, and we're lucky that this hasn't happened yet, but you're getting old enough that like you do need to be aware of this or that or whatever it is.
Yeah, that's so fair. And I think too, the other, like, it's one of those things where you check your privilege in that moment, right? Like, like, for example, another example very similar is yesterday, my daughters were playing on the same playground that she pissed on actually, but we were there at a different time. I had pants and everything this time. She didn't pee anywhere, which was great. But
obviously, the second you brought spare pants, she was like, why would I piss myself?
Exactly.
Why would I fucking piss myself today?
Dude, why the fuck? That is always a thing, though. It's insane. But anyway.
Whenever my wife says, like, should I bring a spare pair of pants? I'm like, well, you just jinxed it, so yes.
Yeah, it's better to have and not need.
The second you say, should we bring this thing, the answer is always yes. Because if you say, should we bring this? And I say no, it's going to happen. Dude, it's going to fucking happen.
Think back to your shot. Like, you were like, as long as I don't slice it, I'm fucking sweet. And then
absolutely slice it. Immediately gone.
Oh,
immediately
dude.
gone.
But yeah, we were at the park and there was this little girl there and they were playing around. And like, you could tell that like the girl was like she was a dwarf, but because she was only 3, so there was no, you can't really tell. And I was like interested in, chatting to the parents, and it was one of those things where the parents were like, at the moment we don't see there's no disparity or anything like that, but they're kind of waiting for that. Like, cause the little girl was like 3. And of course, like, that's about when kids start to sort of get a bit bigger. And they're actually like really nervous because they're kind of on the cusp of like that moment where they're probably going to have the conversation of like, hey, just so you know, like you're different and that's okay.
Yeah.
But that's a thing that I think.
Well, I guess you need to like, I guess the question you ask yourself then is like, because like obviously you want to prepare your kid to answer any questions that other kids, because kids are just going to ask whatever questions they're going to ask. And I guess like maybe one of the feelings of being like ostracized is like if somebody asks, hey, why are you different? And you're not aware that you're different.
Yes.
Like that must be a fucking sort of crushing moment, I think.
Oh man.
Yeah, God, what a difficult scenario. Yeah,
it's a tough one. And I think, but that's the thing, like there's so many parents that go through different things like that. You really can't, like you do when you, it sounds weird to say it, but like, when you don't have that much, like my daughters are doing quite, they're fine. They're doing okay. And I feel like sometimes you don't check where you're coming from, where you say like, you're very lucky not to have big things like that to worry about. And I think those parents that do have that stuff, like, I think they need so much credit because there's no right or wrong. Like even like just having this conversation, I don't think there's a definitive way to say.
And
like
the internet will always tell you that there's one way to do things.
Yes,
like you very much learn in parenting. Like, hey, you're gonna have some big wins as a parent, and you're gonna have some massive fucking losses.
Oh yeah.
And as long as we can like get most of them in between there. Like, I love my parents. They did a superb job. I'm sure if I were to ask them all the times they fucked up, they were like, oh, there were quite a few there.
Oh, dude, yep.
Like, it's life. That's what you're preparing them for. I think the biggest reality check as a parent, and it's like, I would obviously never wish it on anyone ever. But like, I don't know if you've ever been to like this, had to take your kid to sick kids hospital for even just like a small injury.
We've had some big issues last year with summer. Just going, lucky everything was okay, but mate.
Man, you stop complaining about a lot of things in life when you go through, like when we were out last year, my son got his finger crushed in a door at the zoo. He had lost his fingernail. He had to go for surgery at Sydney Children's Hospital.
Wow.
And like, Sydney's Children's Hospital is one of the most impressive places I've ever been in my life. Like, upstairs is like, they just have volunteers who are dressed like space cadets.
That's so sick.
And like, they're so high energy with the kids. And like, when we were in there, like with our son, who's just, he has to go for surgery. It was obviously very scary for us. But like being able to only be in the hospital for like 2 days, for 3 weeks afterwards, me and my wife complained about fucking nothing. Because you saw parents and kids dealing with something that no kid and no mother and father should ever have to fucking deal with just a level of resilience that I would not have in that scenario.
No way, man. Like I had one of the most fucking influential, like it literally changed the way I like parent. Last year, Summer had like respiratory issues. So she got like child asthma. Like it ended up being, it was an issue. It's like, it can be serious, but once it's managed, it's fairly non-existent. Like we don't have really any issues with her now that we know that she's got the thing. But anyway, I was in there and it was hard because we were going in and out. Like we've been there. This is probably the third time we got there. And I got to a point where I was just, when you're just exhausted and the exhaustion comes out and just, I had to walk to the fucking kitchen. I was tearing up and it was just one of those moments, right? And like, I'm pretty good at owning those moments now. I very rarely hide those things, whereas I used to a lot. I used to, now I'm like, fuck it. Anyway, this guy was in there and I was chatting to him and he was like, oh, like, how's everything going? And I was like, oh, like, yeah, it's just, this is our third time here. It's a bit exhausting. And I want to preface this by, I felt like a fucking idiot after all this. Like, yeah, it's just hard. My daughter's got asthma. We're not really sure of what is going on. And he looked at me and he goes like, oh, like you just got to keep like your mind going on things and it's hard, but you'll get through it. It's fine. And without he didn't even tell me or anything, man. This, I'd say probably this 13, 14-year-old girl like comes walking in with her thing, cancer. Cancer. His daughter had cancer. He had been in and out of hospital weekly for 2 years.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there like,
oh, but I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
I guarantee he was not like, get a load of this.
Nah. And I know he wasn't. It was more like one of those moments where you catch yourself and it's almost like one of those.
You just life goes, here's a fresh perspective, and you go, fucking thank you very much for that. Like that's, you know.
It was even like the fact that he didn't tell me. He just said, hey man, it's going to be all good. And I look over and he just puts his arm around his daughter who has cancer. And it didn't make the whole process. I was fucking even sadder after that. Cause then I walked in and Kia was like, you look like you've seen a ghost. And I was like, the fucking most
worse. I saw an innocent child with cancer.
Literally, the most pivotal moment of my parenting journey just happened right then in that kitchen over there. And ever since then, like I've just tried to, like as bad as it, and I'm not saying it gets bad, but as tough as it is, I just remember that conversation and I think like, how lucky am I right now to just be cleaning shit off the bathtub?
Yes,
you know what I mean? Like little things like that.
Pushing shit down the bath plug.
Just waffle stomping stuff in the shower, or like, you know, having like pasta thrown everywhere because it was the wrong meal and you've just had a terrible, and you just think to yourself, you're like,
reading the same goddamn fucking story.
Oh, dude, if I have to read Peppa fucking Pig ABC 1, 2, 3 book one more time.
Also, to children's authors out there, right? Stop writing books with more than 10 fucking pages. What is your fucking problem, you piece of shit? Right? I want 2 lines per page, 10 pages. If you can't get a story in under that, stop writing kids' books. Stop it. Stop. Go write fucking teen fiction. Right? Like you need the next. I don't get me wrong. I love reading with my children.
Yeah.
Like I love when like my daughter will come up to me and she'll give me a book and I'm like, great. And that first book, it doesn't matter if it's 20 pages, we'll read it. She's not listening. She's not. If it was 10 pages, we could do it several times. Otherwise, I know the first 70% of this book. I've never finished it. Have you ever met a 2-year-old? Do you know their attention span?
Dude, last night I was reading this fucking Barbie book, dude. 2 things happened. One thing, like, I don't know, Skylar, my eldest, does this now. She goes, Daddy, you read this book to me and I'm going to read this book to myself. And I said, no. If I'm reading this garbage, you're going to listen to every word of it. And now, so we used to do that because we've got multiple books that are quite long and you can do the whole, like, you read halfway through the paragraph. You just fucking go on to the next page. No one knows. No.
Turn 2 pages at a time.
Skylar looks at me. If I read like a sentence and I go to turn, she goes, Daddy, there's more words there. And I was like, oh no.
More there.
Oh no, she knows. She knows the quantity is not, it doesn't equate there. So like, I'm just like, it kills me, dude.
My son still has, like, he's learning about the concept of time.
Yeah.
But still does not have enough. It's so funny to negotiate with him because I'll be like, you're going to bed in 10 minutes. He'll be like, 7. And I'm like, okay.
Sounds good.
Okay, you fucking idiot.
Dude, I have that deal with girls. We're going to get out in 5 minutes. Can we have 2?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
All right.
All right.
Yeah. You're a good dad if you don't hold them to that time frame.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if you're
right.
just like, anytime my son haggles underneath, I'll be like, absolutely, and I'll still give him the same amount of time that we said.
Do you use timers a lot in your house? Like, do you find we have an Alexa, and if now I'm like, if I'm like, all right, 5 minutes, and like, you gonna count? I'm like, no, Alexa, set a timer for 5 minutes, and then they can't argue. Like they know that it's coming. You're like,
no, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. Like I know it's coming. Like the biggest thing I learned about having kids was like, you know, you do get annoyed when parents are like, oh, just you wait, it's coming, it is coming. And you're like, I don't think so. I actually think my kids are better than yours. And overall, I'm a better parent.
I know what I'm doing.
Maybe all your problems are unique to you because you're shitty. And then like 3 weeks later, you're like, oh, there it is.
Yeah, so you're like, fucking hell, the regression happened. I fucking hated the sleep regression's going to happen. I was like, okay, no, it's not. It's fine. We're good. Yeah, no, the sleep regression, absolutely. And I will never you have to find a way to like tell the person. Like you almost have to premise it by being like, hey, just so you know, I'm not one of these parents, but I'm going to now be one of those parents just for this split second because I do want to warn you that sleep regressions are real. I, for one, didn't think they were real, and I'm a fucking idiot.
Yes. And it's not me. It's not me trying to downplay parenting for you to try and make it worse, but it's like I also thought I was the exception. And that humbling experience of finding out that I was indeed the rule is something that I want to
I'm now the benchmark.
I want to heads you up about that.
Yeah, dude. Oh man, there's so many of those things. I guess leading, because you were like you were very established when you had your first child. Hey,
Yes.
like as in terms of comedy wise and stuff like
But
that.
that was like that was a decision.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
I have always wanted to be a dad.
Yeah.
Like I knew from a very, very young age that like I wanted to be like, you know, I'm 10 and 12 years older than my brothers. Fucking hate them when they were like, when I was going through my teenage years, like they were great. But like once I was a bit older, you know, it was great. Like I love kids. I've always been very good with kids. I always knew I definitely wanted to have children.
Yeah.
And then in like my 20s, you know, I was living my life. I was traveling the world, like things was going well, but I was very much in the headspace of like, I'm going to tour relentlessly for all through my 20s, so that when it's time to become a dad and I meet the woman I want to have kids with, that like I'm able to make fatherhood my priority.
Yeah.
Like if stand-up comedy is my priority for 14 years, which came with all of these deep mental health issues, don't ever do that.
Well, that's just something you like. Most comedians have that in common, man. I feel like there's
look, if you spend your life getting self-worth from strangers, that fucks with your head. Like because then you never need to come up with your own self-worth.
So true.
You never need to like anything about yourself, because strangers will tell you what they like about you, and they'll reinforce it every night, and you don't ever need to learn to love yourself.
Wow, yeah.
And that sucks, because then when you stop doing comedy, you're like, why do I fucking hate myself? And then you turn to your wife and you're like, hey, is there any chance you could give me the love of 4,000 strangers? And she's like, oh boy, I can try. Now, through my fucking, you know, therapy journey and being home and sort of reprioritizing, like it's so much better for my son and my daughter's opinion is worth 14,000 Sydney Opera houses.
Yeah.
Like I could eat shit at the Sydney Opera House and it would suck, and I wouldn't enjoy that as an experience. If I were to walk off stage and my kids and my wife are there, who gives a fuck?
That's so
cool,
Who gives
a fucking wet hot shit?
Yeah, that's amazing, dude. Like I think, do you feel like, you know, obviously like wanting kids and all that stuff being there, do you think it's no, I wouldn't say affected, but do you think it's sort of changed the way you look at comedy in terms of like, you know, you obviously still love it, but it is very, you know, when you have kids now,
it's not the most important thing.
It's not the most important thing. Do you feel like it's sort of changed? And one thing I love, and I fucking can't wait till tonight, because obviously I'm going to your show tonight. Can't wait. A lot of your material is around that almost transition now of becoming a dad, and I feel like, do you feel like when you had kids, it sort of opened up this new door of like, I guess, material that now sort of, you know what I mean? Like, yeah,
it sort of made me nervous because like before I was such a fucking comedy purist, which isn't a real thing. It was just a prison that I locked myself into so that I could shit on other comedians by holding them to an unrealistic standard and then flog myself with that same standard whenever I failed it. Like I was really against the concept of doing like becoming like a dad comic. Yeah. Because like I guess like I always watched my favorite comedians be great and then become dads, and they were all doing jokes about the same sort of subject. Yeah. Like, it's because parenthood's one of the most well-trodden topics in the history of mankind, because most people have done it.
And it's also very similar. Like we all actually have very similar experiences, you know what I mean? It's almost not, I wouldn't say it's a low-hanging fruit, but it's a fruit that you could pick and you'd be like, I could still eat this.
Yeah. But I've been doing comedy for so long that like a lot of my audience have grown up with me or watched me grow, because they are fans of mine. Like, even though I'm talking about subjects that other comedians are talking about, they're like, we very much want to hear your perspective on it. Yeah. And that's a really nice place to be in, where I'm just like, I don't feel hack talking about my kids and the experience of it. And yeah, I feel like, you know, I think it's sort of taken my like edge away. Like it's certainly not, I wouldn't say it's cutting edge comedy anymore, but
I still like, I like it though. Like, but I think it's, like you said, I feel like it is nice because I've someone that watched you sort of like years ago especially when like all the like your stuff was on Netflix and just there was like this boom of, I guess, comedy, especially in Australia, where I think social media helped it, where we were seeing so many different acts and, you know, things like that. And I think it what you just said around your audience growing with you, I think that's really cool though, that you have that you have that. Not only do you have these people that followed you for so long and I guess they're sort of transitioning into this stage of life with you, but now you've got, I guess, the people that have seen your stuff are in the same sort of life. It sort of opened you up to different people as well in terms of your fan base as well. Like it's pretty mad seeing how many people like I've spoken to that I'm like, I haven't told a lot of people, but a lot of people know you from your parenting. Like, I think it's probably from the news special, but from the childbirth stuff and all those stories. Like, I feel like a lot of people know you from that now, like, which is pretty awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, my wife's first birth, I mean, I don't think there's any, I disagree. I'm sure there are some mums out there who are like, I actually had a really good birth. And my wife will be like, we had a fine birth. Baby, sweetheart.
No.
Sweetheart, love of my life.
I love you so much, and no.
Like, I understand that like you have an endorphin release in your head and all these chemicals come in that like help you forget the trauma that you went through. And like when women don't get that, like they get postpartum and PTSD. Yeah. Like it's a very important thing to happen to women. And when it doesn't happen, it's dramatic. As somebody in the room who did not have that chemical dump, both of those births were fucked.
So it was like natural birth?
Yeah, both. So, with our son, we went in, she got a sweep because we got in, she just felt like a bit, round about his due date, she felt like a bit less movement than she was used to. We went in and the NHS were like, hey, we're just not, we think it's fine. It's probably fine, but there's no point stressing you out. There's no point, like we're not going to take risks with this. So they did like a sweep and you know what a sweep is?
No, I was just about to ask, what's a sweep?
It's fucked. Like lots of women have strong opinions on it.
Okay.
My wife is someone that didn't mind it.
Yeah.
So like there are, when the baby's in the room, there are like, I don't know, something sort of mucus that attaches the baby's skull to the uterine wall.
Yeah, okay.
And when those mucus sort of like breaks away, that's one of the mother's body's way of signaling to the baby it's time to get out.
Yeah.
So what a sweep is the midwife gets her fingers all the way up there into the uterus and then in a sweeping motion tears. Yeah, it's fucked. It's
I've never heard of this before.
It's rightfully. It's obviously it's one of the most painful and most invasive fucking procedures.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, so she gets that done, and I'm talking, you know, within 2 hours we meet our son.
Wow.
Our spot, and this isn't to do with the sweep, but like this is to do with my wife's placenta didn't come out. My wife lost 1.5 liters of blood in about 5 minutes, right?
Holy shit.
Baby flies out. Birth is like super quick. And then like baby's on her chest. She's there. She's like talking to the baby. I'm there. And I can just see like at the corner of my eye, just like a midwife going,
oh no.
And I'm like, just don't freak out. Like, trust the midwives.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, Cara, we're just going to have to take you through to another room just for a little bit. You've just lost a fair bit of blood. We need to get this out. And she's like, okay. They take my wife out of the room. They hand me my 7-minute-old son. And then I'm just in this room for like half an hour, an hour. I'm watching the Michael Jordan documentary. Like at one point, the midwives come in and they check on me and like, you know, my son does his first fucking that meconium poo.
Yeah,
and like, you know.
So you're doing all this while your wife's just...
Yeah, and I need the distraction.
Yeah,
because just at the back of my mind, the whole time you're like, am I a widow?
Yeah,
like,
dude.
Is this like the one?
Man.
And like, my surgery goes great. My wife gets pumped full of fucking blood. She comes back in drugged up to the eyeballs and she's like, And I'm like, that was the worst 2 hours of my
Oh
life.
my God,
that was
dude.
the worst. But I don't want to, you can't.
You physically are in the stage where you can't complain.
Absolutely not.
You know what I mean?
You can't say to the woman who just, for 9 months, sacrificed her body to grow a baby inside of her, risked her life pushing a baby out into her. You cannot say to them, hey, that was really hard for me.
It's like it's the one time, I'm really big for men like talking about how they feel, but
Absolutely.
the one time,
Give it a day.
the one time I'm just like the one time I want you to shut the fuck up about your feelings is post-birth. Just once. Any other time,
you leave the room.
Yeah.
Call your mum.
Exactly.
Call her mum.
Yeah.
Calls a friend of yours that's a father. Call a friend of yours that's a mother. Don't bring.
No.
Just let them, whatever they feel in that moment, whether it's like exhaustion, whether it's like glee,
Just
and
anything, even if they're stoked, just be like, yeah, cool, I'd love this. You did great.
Do not ruin any. Just let them exist in those emotions, and then like a week later, be like, hey,
How
I
about
thought
that
you
right
were dead for 3 hours, and like I really need to talk to you about how that made me feel.
Oh man, no, it's so fair. Like I feel like I know, just in like I had one of those moments too. Like Kia had two C-sections, right? And like planned C. So she's got really bad endometriosis and adenomyosis. I don't know if you know, but it's like cysts on the ovaries essentially. And it's one of the reasons why we had kids at 25 years old was because like obviously we wanted them, but we also had to have it. Like we had to have kids early if we wanted the best chance to have it. And of course, like for me, I'm very similar to you. Always wanted to be a dad. I was like in school being like, I want to be a dad. Not now, not right now, no. But when I find the right girl, and I cannot wait to be a dad. Anyway, we had 2 kids, like C-sections. In terms of the way birth, like listening to that, the way that our birth went was seamless both times. They were. And I say,
but isn't the recovery from C-section
different story there. Right? The actual birth part was fine. The recovery was very hands-on. I was prepared. I did a lot of research on, they can't drive for 6 weeks. They're bedridden for 2. It's going to be all me. It's me, and it was very full on once again. But then we spoke about
because it's so. I didn't realize how. Like obviously,
7 layers, bro. They go through 7 layers,
and they just rip.
They just rip, man.
I thought C-section was like, we're gonna cut down this line here. They're like, no, 1 inch. However that does, that's natural.
And it's crazy, bro. They come over the sheet, and you just get this like from. Have you ever seen Ron Weasley when he picks up the fucking like? What do have you watched Harry Potter?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and movie 1, he picks up the mandrake.
The mandrake.
Yeah, is this yours? And this thing's like, yeah. And you're like, yeah, I think it's mine. It needs a clean, but it's mine.
Yeah.
So anyway, we've done that. I'll get back to the recovery, because the recovery actually plays a very good point in this story. So recovery was hectic. Kia's like a monster though. She's so good. Like was working from a bed whilst handling like the most invasive wound ever, and we got through it okay. We didn't have any issues with
God, I wish we were allowed to be more aggressive with telling our wives to slow the fuck down.
Oh, dude.
Like, fucking they take...
entrepreneur, like literally...
Sometimes you got to phone in the mother-in-law. You got to be like, hey, just to let you know, I hate to be a snitch, but she
keeps working.
She's doing too fucking much and she won't listen to me.
Bro, it's insane. Like, I even down to like, even some of Kia's friends are just like they're so tough, man. Like one of her best friends had a C-section. Then Kia flies down to Sydney to help her out. She's out walking after a week. She has all those and just full on.
I feel fine.
I'm fine.
It doesn't matter if you feel fine.
Yeah.
The doctor says.
Oh,
I'm
dude.
telling you right now, when I go for a vasectomy and the doctor's like, beds for 3 days, I'm like, he said 12.
Yeah, literally, dude. And this is where this story's going, man. I was like, Kia's like, would you be keen to get a vasectomy? I'm like, I'm 2 and done. I'm vasectomy ready. Like, I can't wait, man. I just want to get it done. Just never have to worry about that stuff ever again. However, I made the mistake of explaining to Kia that I was a little bit nervous. How do you think that conversation went down after 2 C-sections, dude?
Yeah.
I do not have a leg to stand on ever.
Well, first of all, they're not like, C-section is obviously infinitely worse than getting a vasectomy.
Yes.
You don't have to smell your burning Like they don't suture you up.
No.
With a C-section, they sew you up. They're not welding your balls.
That's the thing.
I don't want to know what my burning ball flesh smells like.
I actually don't want to know the process. Like I feel like if I know the process of a vasectomy, and I know it now because I have to, right? Because
when I get it done, I'm like, whatever I have to pay to be unconscious for the surgery. They're like, they'll be like local anesthetic. I'm like, not a chance.
Yeah,
general anesthetic. Put me under it.
My mate had a vasectomy, right? He said the first 2 days were a bit tough.
And to all the women going, men are wimps. Yes. I watched my wife give birth, and I'm like, that's when I went, well, women are infinitely stronger than I'll ever be.
Right.
And while I'm in second place, I might as well slow down.
Mate, if they're like, honestly, and I've heard it from multiple people, man, but if men were in charge of having babies, the world would go extinct.
Absolutely.
Human race would be gone because there's I look at the process. I was like nervous for Kia. Like I was like, this is crazy. And she goes, yeah, child, like, having a baby being pregnant, it's pretty crazy. I was like, crazy. It's fucking mind blowing, dude. I wake up every morning and you show me a piece of fruit did you get the fruit app?
My wife did, yeah.
Bro, every morning, hey, look, I've got a fucking eggplant in me. And I'm like, you get used to it after a while, that constant, like, look at this. But when you really peel it back, you go, that's incredible. Like, I'm going to work. I might take a shit at work, say my day's hard, come home, whatever. I use the term shit, like, because my day is not that hard. You do everything I do, and you're fucking growing.
Oh, yeah.
You're growing a fucking person in
all
you.
All of your insides are being fucking pushed.
Oh,
your liver's up in your tits.
It is insane, man. And like just the changes, like I remember all the physical changes that were going, and you just start to you really like when you meet a guy who doesn't understand what their wife is going to with and I know, like, what you don't know is what you don't, or what you know is the term. But I'm just like, dude, just do a little bit of research. Just do a slight amount of research to see what the fuck is happening. Because all you had to do is bust a nut. That is...
There's nothing greater than raw dogging your wife.
No, exactly. And that's one of the vasectomy reasons, right? Yeah. Like, that's going to be a fantastic time of my life, right? But, like, understanding, like, how different your roles are in pregnancy, like, you are nothing. You could die tomorrow and your wife could still probably have a baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I say probably. Your wife can have a baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it's
have a baby. Wild, dude.
She would be sad. She would be sad.
She would be sad. I mean, hopefully. Like, there's some times where I'm like, she probably won't be sad. Like, there'll be a lot of things that probably get done better around the house. But
yeah, I feel like my wife's, like, I obviously, I know for a fact she would be crushed and devastated if I died. I think she'd handle my death better than I'd handle her death.
Yes, 100%, dude. Okay. I always tell Kia, I was like, hey, if you die, like, just know, I know that you're going to be sweet. If you die, if you're looking down on me, just know I have less of an idea of what I'm doing now than when you were here. Because I am fucking... like, got no idea, dude.
Yeah. If my wife dies, her parents are moving into my house.
Big time. Well, we'll see. Yeah.
Oh, my in-laws are fucking great.
Yeah, I love my mother-in-law so much. She's South African, so she's very strong opinions.
Yeah,
which is fantastic. So I've learned, just like I did with Kia, if the argument gets too heated, just jump out the plane. Just parachute. I'm out. See you later. I'm gonna go have a beer. Yeah, bro. Before we sort of like, because I know we're tight on time because obviously you have a show tonight and you have another podcast after this. But just sort of like to sort of finish on something. What's sort of the best advice that you have or have been given as a dad, like as someone? And the reason I like this question is because we all live such different lives. Like you and I have spoken about your schedule and stuff. The advice you might have may be so different to sort of like my sort of key advice, but what's sort of something that sticks out to you, whether it's, something to do with your mental health, something to actually do with like your kids? Like, what do you think?
I wish I'd paid more attention to my wife when she was not complaining, but when she was talking about missing the earlier stages of our kids' life. Because I was a dad, and because obviously my wife's breastfeeding, she's bonded with that kid for like, even though she hated pregnancy, she bonded with that kid for like 4 or 5 months while I was growing inside of her. And then when it came into the world, she succeeded in her breastfeeding journey, and she had that. And I was excited for so many things to start. But as the dad, you're kind of just the janitor for the bit.
Yeah.
Like your job is you're the support network. Like she's, if she's feeding the baby with her tits, it's my job to, run the baths, help with them, change the nappies, get the clothes, clean up the sex, burp the baby, do all this other stuff that we're all doing together. And every time my kid would like get to a stage where it was like smiling, I'd be so and then my wife would show me a picture of our 2-week-old son, and she's like, "Where's that baby?" And I'd be like, "Who gives a shit? This one's so much better. Who gives a fuck where that baby is?"
Yeah, I know what you mean.
That was the worst version of this fucking baby. What are you talking about?
It was boring.
This one is so much better. And then when my son was like 3, she showed me pictures of like my 14-month-old son. And she's like, "Where's this baby?" And I'm like, "Who gives a fuck?" The 3-year-old's so much better.
Yeah.
And like now that I got 2, and we will absolutely do a third. But like now when I see my pictures of my son when he's like 3 or 4 weeks old, I do go, "Oh my God." Like, I mean, what it's not just a different stage of his life, but what like a different stage of life me and my wife were at. Like, I'm remembering the time and the feeling. So when we have our third, like, I'm really gonna do my best to just appreciate the smaller moments and understand, like, even though this is the most boring this fucker will ever be, there is a deep privilege in being bored.
Yeah.
Like, that would
and not
be
being stoned.
And not being stoned.
Yeah.
Being bored is a privilege.
Absolutely, yeah.
Being bored is an absolute privilege, and you shouldn't try to escape it sometimes. Like, you should just learn to deal with boredom sober and sit in it, because do you know how many people out there around the world who wish they were bored instead of fucking working 2 shifts, 16-hour fucking days? All they would want is to be bored with their kids. Embrace boredom.
Yeah, that's so, I feel like that's really common around like so many things, man. Like, I think especially with your kids, like, I know for a fact that the first time round I took it in way more than the second time. And now there's that element of like, I wish I could be bored with the kids again. Like, and even now, like, as my kids are getting older, and you're probably the same, teaching your kids to be bored.
Yes.
Like, not like, and I have to say this to Kiera a lot too, because she's definitely someone that wants to do things all the time. And, we might be sitting down or something, and we might be cleaning, and it might be like, well, what are the kids going to do? I was like,
whatever the fuck they want.
Whatever the fuck they want. Like, they're going to, if they sit there and they whinge and they're bored, they can just sit there and do nothing. And that's fine. Because the amount of times when I was a kid that I would sit and do nothing, and I feel like I've kind of like, I used to be good at being bored, whereas now I don't know whether it is, whether it's the phone, whether it's
it's definitely the phone.
I think it is. It's got to be the phone, man. Because like, I'm really trying my hardest now to go, if I feel, and I work on this with my psychologist too, right? So we always do like, okay, before you do something, so say for example, it might be like wanting to get a drink, or whether maybe you want to smoke whatever, or maybe you want to do something, or even like getting a Coke Zero. Like, I pound Coke Zero during the day. Sometimes that's like my new like coping thing. Not even a coping thing, but it's like, what is the emotion before you feel it, or before you grab it? Like, why? What are you trying to escape? And the amount of times I've done that now and go, oh, like, I'm bored now. What can I do? And it's usually boredom. I don't like sitting and being bored, and I have to actively be like, go clean something, go for a run, go do something. And it's amazing how many times you think you gravitate towards that stuff, that easy fix, because you're bored. Yeah, like it's a blessing and a curse, right? Like it's so crazy, dude. But no, man, being a dad's sick. Being a dad is so sick, brother. Thank you so much, Daniel, for coming on, man. I've had an absolute blast playing golf with you today. We had a good day. Mate, such a good day. We linked up with a couple of the boys from the golfing crew, which is amazing. They decked Daniel out in a couple new golfing polos. So.
Yeah, I just didn't wear it on this because I sweated through it like a motherfucker.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're technically technically sponsored golfer, mate. Yeah. So I mean, big things on the way. Big things.
Easy. I love it.
Daniel, where can people find you? I know so many people know where you are already, but
and if they can't work out how to use Google, they can go fuck themselves.
There you go. Yeah. That's what I thought, bro. But you got a show in Brisbane tonight. You got Gold Coast tomorrow, and then you're off to Sydney.
Canberra first, then Sydney, then Auckland, then Perth, then Singapore, and then America, and then sometime.
Fuck, not bad. Very, very stoked to be sitting down with someone who has actually played the Opera House. That's very sick. I said,
I've played the Opera House 5 or 6 times.
And I'm just like, dude, that is so cool. Like when I told you in the car, I was like, dude, this is really cool. Hey, like this is such a mad dog thing. Oh, bro, really appreciate it, guys.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
No dramas, mate. Anytime when you come back to Brizzy, we can do another one, as well as another round of very average golf. But hopefully by then, 18 in for sure, man. All right, guys, you know what it is. CoolDadCollective podcast. Thank you very much for listening and tuning in. If you want to get in contact with the podcast, you can email me CoolDadCollective@hotmail.com or go over to Instagram at CoolDadCollective _ and everywhere else it's at CoolDadCollective. And guys, have a great, fantastic rest of your week. Daniel, I'm excited for the show tonight. I know you're going to make me laugh so much that I'm going to piss my pants. So I can't wait to show you the piss in my pants.
Great. I'm seeing it. I'm smelling it.
Cheers, brother.
In a bit.